All right, now we're getting into offense, especially from the knee torque position. Knee torque is a great passport between half guard and single leg. So that's where we're going to spend a lot of time here, okay? So we are initially starting in this gable grip elbow knee torque position, okay? But we're not going to stay here for long. This gets set up a lot of times like on a failed single leg, or if you drag them by in a half guard and was able to set up here. Okay, it's not the best position because your hands are fully committed here, all right? But we're controlling the end of the lever. If you don't have any control there, he easily face turns towards me, faces me, sprawls, gives me all the defenses that we did before, okay? So we're starting with an elbow knee torque. That slows down his turn a little bit, but we're upgrading to a knee torque position, which is my knee on the inside of his knee. And as you see, I'm not on the hips, I'm down with the hamstrings with my shoulder, okay? I'm doubling up on the lower leg. My toes are engaged in the mat and I'm driving his weight forward to his hands. If his weight is back in his hips, he can start to push on my head and become really heavy. So I'm driving forward the whole time, all right? So not shoelaces the mat, toes are engaged here. When I'm in this position, I make an assessment. Is his knee down or is it not, okay? So now his knee's down, I can easily reach back and grab this ankle. Now I'm almost guaranteed a pin or a back take. To get the pin, I'm gonna step up with my outside leg and I'm gonna look to drive, not this direction, but back in a 45-degree angle off of his hips. So drive him down to here till we get his hips to the mat, okay? From here you can collect both legs, okay? Or you can keep a hold of both of them separately. Tripod, look to walk towards the back to set up your pass, okay? But if I'm here and I grab this, he can still open his base towards the right with his hands or his knee, okay? So I'm here, I'm trying this, but he's walking and he's posting, okay? And that's absolutely fine, and I want that reaction, okay? Because if he's focusing on his base, he's not focusing on pushing me, okay? So whenever that happens, I let go of the ankle and I grab the hip. My head pops out and my ear goes to his mid or low back, okay? From here, I'm gonna let go of the knee and we're gonna work a tight waist breakdown. Options are, I can post this knee here, keep this hand in the hip and look to break them down in this direction. Or I can get a nice, deep, tight waist with this inside arm, grip with my hand, tripod walk around. Now I got much more pulling power with my deep arm. I block this knee and I look to corkscrew and pull, but not pull him on top of me, pull him to break him down. As soon as he's down to a hip, we grab the back, okay? So we got that 1-2 punch from the knee torque. But if I'm here and he steps up this leg as he should, I'm not going for those options, okay? And if you stay here, they're gonna work the defenses that we did prior. So now I'm looking to shelf this leg, all right? What I do is I'm still driving forward here. I step up with my outside leg and I look back at his ankle. He can be pushing on my head this whole time, right? Even all the way down to the mat, I can still do this. Looking back, grabbing the ankle. Okay, once you grab the ankle, we're continuing to drive forward. So bring your feet and your knee up more close to his hip and drive into the back of the hamstring to get his hands back to the mat. And also, that makes this leg lighter. Once I feel like I'm close enough to his hips and I can lift this leg, I'm gonna lift, pull, step this leg up and shelf to here. Reason why we're shelving is to take all possible frames out of the way to get to the back. If we're on the inside hip, he turns to face me, now I have his femur to deal with. Even if he stands to face me here, as you see, there's not much stopping me from going to the back. Let's go hands down on the mat again. So we're here in this shelved position. Outside hands controlling the knee, inside hands controlling the quad or somewhere on the thigh. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let go of the thigh and grab the far hip. If he's on his knee or standing, it doesn't matter, okay? Once I have this nice tight waist grip here, I'm not gonna worry about the leg anymore. I'm gonna look to stand and come to his hips. And we got the same options as we did prior for our breakdown. So we can start to break him down in this direction, or get a tight grip on his waist, come around, break him down to here, take the back, okay? So we're here, he steps up that leg immediately. I'm immediately looking to shelf. Into here, into here. If you grab the hip, you have the back. If he's starting to stand and turn towards me before I can grab the hip, we need to get off of our knees immediately, okay? So from here, I'm looking to stand, not just stand, I'm looking to drive weight to that far leg, okay? Down here at the hip and stomach, it's not gonna be strong enough. So I'm using my outside hand to uppercut anywhere from the knee to the calf and getting a nice ankle lock, high single leg position, okay? And from here, we got 3 options, depending on what he does. If he collar ties you, which is very common, you can use your free hand to break this, or you can use this against him. If he's close, it's going to be easy to put his hips to the mat. If he's far away, it's easy to put his hands to the mat. So if we set this up preemptively, he's not collar tied, he's not really close, I'm going to push on his knee. I'm going to start to walk back and circle towards his back as I'm pushing his knee towards the mat here, which forces his hands back down to the mat. Now we look to climb the leg like a rope until we get to the hip, and we take the back. If I'm here and I'm pushing and he's balancing this way to counteract it, we can grab the inside knee, literally grab ligaments, whatever you can, and look to dump him down the mat. As soon as we dump him down the mat, we're immediately getting to a perpendicular passive position. Okay, let's go down. So I'm here, stance, uppercut, gets as high as possible. Okay, if he collar ties, it's going to be hard to push his hands down the mat, but he's closer and this leg is bent. It's going to be easy to dump him down towards the mat. Start working your passive. Okay. Other option that we have is tripping that leg if he's close. Okay, you can either just trip and kick it out, or you can use the outside hand to uppercut. And as you see, that compromises his balance for a second. And you can kick that leg out if you time it right. Okay, so we have 3 options there. Hands to the mat's always preferred, so we can take the back. If you're trying that, it's not working, we can dump them to the mat. If they're hugging you in tight, we're gonna dump them to the mat after that.